My daughter-in-law will force me to amend my will or lose my grandchildren. She told my son, so I asked him about it. He's astonished because he never said it. I never imagined myself in this predicament, but I'm lost and need advice. My wife Linda is 65 and I'm 68. Our son John, 42, and daughter Sarah, 39, are our offspring from our 45-year marriage. Our family has always been tight, supporting each other during hardship. Now it feels like everything we've built is jeopardized. Note that John was married twice. Lisa, his high school sweetheart, was his first wife. Emma, 12, and Jacob, 10, were their children after 15 years together. Kind and lively, Lisa was a great woman. Kids loved her as a pediatric nurse. Loved her like a daughter. 5 years ago. We were devastated when Lisa was diagnosed with severe breast cancer. The following 2 years were filled with hospital appointments, chemotherapy, and hope and sadness. Linda and I attempted to support John and the kids throughout. We basically lived with them, caring for Emma and Jacob while John and Lisa went to doctors and treatments. The finest efforts of everyone failed. Lisa died 3 years ago. We all suffered, but John and the kids were most devastated. Emma was 9 and Jacob 7. They were old enough to comprehend but too young to process. John was smashed. He focused on his geological surveying career, accepted remote missions that kept him away from home for lengthy periods. Linda and I increased our efforts. Emma and Jacob regularly stayed with us on weekends and school breaks. We gave them stability and affection because losing their mom was painful. We had movie evenings, baked cookies, and went on nature walks to cheer them up and show them we cared. A mutual friend introduced John to Megan, 38, 2 years after Lisa's death. Olivia, 8, and Ethan, 6, were her children after her divorce. We convinced John to try it despite his guilt over moving on. We saw how lonely he was and believed a relationship may help him heal. Megan appeared sweet when we met her. We liked that she taught kindergarten because she understood kids. Her kids were sweet yet shy at first. We invited them to Sunday dinners and included Olivia and Ethan in our activities to welcome them. Emma and Jacob. John and Megan married last year after dating for a year. It was a tiny wedding, unlike his with Lisa. We could tell he was still grieving. He seemed happier with Megan. The living condition is challenging. John and Megan reside an hour away from us because John's job regularly takes him away for 3 to 4 months. This lets Megan stay near to work and the kids' schools. Megan comes all 4 kids to see us when John is away, which we love. Things appeared fine, or so we thought. There was initial friction amongst the kids. Emma and Jacob were used to having us to themselves, but Olivia and Ethan joined them. We tried to make everyone feel loved and included. The 4 kids and I would go to the zoo or have backyard barbecues to play. About 6 months ago, the issue began. It started softly. Megan said all the grandkids should be treated equally. Not much was thought of it at the time. She probably wanted Olivia and Ethan to feel welcome in the family. But soon the comments grew more regular and pointed. She expressed how expensive raising 4 kids was, or how she worried about paying for college. We sympathized. We realized parenting is expensive. We offered greater assistance with school supplies and extracurriculars for all 4 kids. Megan started seeing us as a financial answer then, in retrospect. Her queries expanded to include our retirement plans, assets, and life insurance. We weren't concerned at the moment. We assumed she was afraid about the future, considering John's perilous job. Last month, everything culminated. John was on a work trip when Megan came over for coffee. We believed it was a routine visit. As in years past, we sat in our sunroom and had numerous heart-to-hearts with John and Lisa. Megan appeared anxious, fumbling with her coffee. She took a deep breath and asked us directly how we would split our estate. We were shocked. We don't talk about it often, especially with our daughter-in-law. We chose honesty. We informed her that John and Sarah would split everything equally with the AITA, understanding that they would support their own children. We were surprised by Megan's reaction. It upset her. She turned red as she argued it was unfair to Olivia and Ethan. She said they deserved equal share with Emma and Jacob. We gently explained that we adore all the kids, but Olivia and Ethan have grandparents and family to inherit from. Then things heated up. John had already agreed to give all 4 kids equal shares, Megan said. She said he wanted to talk to us but hadn't found the perfect time. She dropped the bombshell. She would limit us access to Emma and Jacob unless we changed our will. It felt like a stomach punch. We raised these grandchildren and comforted them after their mother died. Being apart from them was painful. Linda cried and slammed the door when Megan left. We spent the next few days confused and unsure of what to do. We couldn't believe John would agree without consulting us. His voice was unrecognizable. However, people change. Megan may have influenced him more than we thought. Finally, I called John. I reached him after a long time due to his remote location. I told him about Megan's chat and asked whether he wanted us to amend our will. John gasped. He denied speaking with Megan and stated he would never ask us to do that. Megan's threat to keep Emma and Jacob away from us enraged him. John promised to resolve things with Megan when he got home. That was 2 weeks ago. John returned home a few days earlier and decided to confront Megan about this. But we haven't heard anything, and I'm worried. Our fear of losing Emma and Jacob is killing us. Already lost their mother. We hate the idea of losing them too. No idea what to do. Should we comply with Megan's peace demands? Hold our ground? Can everyone agree on a compromise? Changing our will under coercion and losing our grandchildren both bother me. Any advice is welcome. Update 1. A lot has transpired in the week since my last post. First, I appreciate everyone's advice and support. It truly made us feel less alone. John called us the day after I posted. He finally spoke to Megan, but it went poorly. When John asked Megan about her chat with us and her threats, she initially denied it. When John persisted, she broke down and confessed. Megan is insecure about her family role. She thought Olivia and Ethan would always be second-class grandchildren because they arrived later. She also admitted that her ex-husband's inconsistent child support had hurt her financially. John introduced Megan to us, so this disclosure brought back memories. She sounded confident when she told us about her kindergarten teaching and single-parent life. Her strength and independence impressed us. After learning about her financial troubles, I felt sympathy and disgust at her approach. John was angry with Megan for lying and threatening to keep Emma and Jacob away. He told her she couldn't decide about his kids' grandparents. He also warned her that if she tried to separate us from the kids again, their marriage would be at risk. John told us this, and I thought of a chat we had with him shortly after Lisa died. He fretted about becoming a single dad, especially since his profession took him away so much. We told him we would always support him and the kids. Promise appears to be being tested in ways we never expected. John stated Megan seemed sorry and promised not to do it again, but he doesn't trust her yet. He suggested couples counseling to resolve some of these concerns. This reminded me of John and Lisa's early marriage struggles. They benefited from counseling then. I hope John and Megan benefit too. John promises full access to Emma and Jacob in the meanwhile. He's bringing all 4 kids over this weekend for family time. We're excited. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about the outcome. We're glad John is on our side, but I'm afraid about the long-term effects. We've lost trust in Megan, and I'm worried about how this may damage our connection with Olivia and Ethan. We don't want kids to feel less loved or respected because they're innocent. This situation brought back Lisa memories. I wonder how she would manage this if she were here. Lisa was always skilled at bringing people together and finding compromises when things became rough. I miss her kindness and insight. My wife and I are discussing next steps. We're considering education funds for all 4 grandchildren to show our caring without affecting our estate plans. The gesture we made for Emma and Jacob when they were born touched Lisa. We hope to offer Megan an olive branch while keeping our boundaries. We may also have a family meeting with John and Megan once things calm down to discuss expectations and boundaries. Communication seems as crucial than ever. This made us realize we need to revise our will. Our present one is several years old and doesn't reflect family changes. Meeting with our lawyer next week will begin that process. Not looking forward to it. It requires unpleasant feelings and decisions, but we know it's important. I'm still absorbing things and don't know how our family will change. Anyway, I'm glad we'll see Emma and Jacob this weekend. Family time may help start the healing process. While writing this update, I'm looking at old family photos on the mantel. This photo shows John and Lisa on their wedding day, grinning. A current photo of John, Megan, and all 4 kids at a park is next to it. I desperately want everyone in those photos to be happy and peaceful. I hope we can do that. In my second report, I'll describe what's happened in the past month. Yes, things have been complicated. John planned to bring all 4 kids on the weekend after my last post. After some tension, the youngsters seemed unconcerned by the parental conflict and enjoyed playing together. We enjoyed seeing Emma and Jacob again, and Olivia and Ethan reminded us how much we care about them, despite their mother's troubles. I noticed how much Emma resembled Lisa as we watched the kids play in the backyard. Her lively laugh and brilliant grin are the same. It brought back memories of Lisa's family gatherings. Always lots of laughter and fun. Despite all the changes and struggles our family has encountered, I hoped we might recover that enthusiasm. Megan didn't join them that day. John stated she was giving us room, but I think she was embarrassed to face us. We didn't argue. We enjoyed spending time with the grandchildren. However, her absence was evident, and I wondered how we would proceed. A week later, we held our planned family meeting. I, John, Megan, and Linda sat down to clear the air. Since we've had numerous family discussions in the living room, We decided to have the meeting there. It felt right. Like we were using our family heritage to get through this tough moment. Quite a difficult and passionate conversation. Megan apologized, stating she allowed her anxieties and money worries cause her behavior. She stated she never meant to withhold the kids from us, and regretted saying so. Her embarrassment and anxiety were evident in her eyes as she talked. I remembered when Sarah, our daughter, came to us as a teenager after a terrible mistake. We were angry, but we understood her dread and regret. We told Megan her actions harmed us and damaged our trust in her. Linda, normally more restrained, talked loudly about how upsetting it was to think we would lose Emma and Jacob. She said we had helped them through the death of their mother, and that being shut out of their lives was awful. We discussed inheritance. We outlined our plans and listened to Megan's concerns. Ultimately, we compromised. As planned, we'll support all 4 grandchildren's education. Our will also provide for Olivia and Ethan's care if John dies. Megan was satisfied with the arrangement, although not the equal split she wanted. John kept quiet throughout this section of the conversation, but he reminded Megan that she must discuss inheritance issues for Olivia and Ethan with her ex-husband's family. His face showed effort as he spoke. As with Lisa's illness, he was split between responsibilities and fears. Future rules were also established. We stressed that issues should be dealt freely and honestly without threats or manipulation. We stressed that we value all 4 grandchildren. But that doesn't mean everything must always be equal. Though it was difficult, I felt like we were finally communicating honestly. Since that meeting, things are better but not perfect. Megan has begun inviting Olivia and Ethan over when Emma and Jacob come to be more inclusive. While we appreciate the gesture, it can feel forced. It reminds me of Lisa's ease. But then I realize that comparison is unfair. We need time for this new arrangement to settle in, because every family is different. John and Megan began couples therapy. It's improving their communication, but John told me he still doesn't trust Megan after what occurred. He wants their marriage to work for the kids. I know it's hard for him. It recalls his and Lisa's early marriage struggles. They came out stronger, and I hope John and Megan do too. We're moving forward. We've had excellent visits with all the grandkids and are trying to become closer to Olivia and Ethan. Not always easy. We're doing our best, yet friction persists. We visited the local science museum with all 4 kids last weekend. They were amazed as they explored the displays, reminding me why we're fighting to keep this family together. We met with our lawyer to update our will. It's driving us to have tough future conversations, but I think it's important. As we reviewed our assets and explored options, I thought about our legacy. It goes beyond money and possessions. We wish to teach our grandchildren values. Linda and I are closer because of this. Our family hopes and worries have dominated our late-night conversations. It reminds me of our early marriage, when we stayed up dreaming about our future. Our dreams now are about our children and grandkids, but our relationship and common purpose are stronger than ever. I'm not sure how this will affect our family long-term. Part of me worries if we'll ever move on. Broken trust is difficult to rebuild. I'm watching Megan more than I'd like, but then I witness her showing John genuine affection or gently assisting Jacob with his homework. Reminds me that people are multifaceted. Everyone makes errors and deserves a second chance. Emma unexpectedly called us last night. She wanted to talk about school and her book. Listening to her eager conversation made me feel grateful. We have these amazing ties with our grandchildren despite all the drama and uncertainty. Our priority is being present for our grandchildren, so we're taking it day by day. Creating inclusive family customs is our goal. We're going camping with the whole family next month. We did it with John and Sarah as youngsters. We hope it will help everyone bond and make memories. I'm writing this in our garden watching the sunset. The old oak tree still holds John's childhood tire swing. Emma and Jacob play there when they visit, and Olivia and Ethan sometimes do. It shows that change and continuity coexist. Our family has overcome hardships before and always rallied. I expect the same this time. I don't know our family's future. Many concerns and hurt feelings remain. But I know we'll tackle whatever comes next with love and patience. It's what family is about.